Alright, picking up where we left off in Chapter 14 on page 467, 14-3 using autofill. Alright, autofill copies content and formats from a cell or range into an adjacent cell or range. The cell contents can be text, values, or formulas. Autofill can also extend a series of numbers, pattern text, and dates into adjacent selections. After you select a cell or range, the fill handle appears in the lower right corner of the selection. When you drag the fill handle over an adjacent range, autofill copies the content and formats from the original cell into the adjacent range. Alright, so we're going to work on that. Go to cell B35. Type the formula equals B25 minus B34. This formula subtracts total expenses from total income for January. Accept the formula, and the results is a negative 58.54, which indicates a projected shortfall for January. This is due to the cost of tuition and books that occur in that month. Now that you've entered the formula, you can use the fill handle to quickly copy the formula to ranges C35 through M35. Alright, so select B35 if it's not already selected. See that little fill handle here in the corner? When you put your pointer over it, it turns into a solid black cross. Click on that fill handle and without releasing the mouse, drag it over the range C35 through M35. And then release your mouse. The selected range is filled with the formula in cell B35, and the autofill options button appears below the lower right corner of the selected range. Review the monthly net cash flows to confirm that autofill correctly copy the formula into the selected range. Okay, so make sure you're copy. So L25 minus L34, J25 minus J34, so it's correct. Alright, you can also drag the fill handle of a selected range. After you release the mouse button, the contents of each cell are copied to the corresponding cells in the same row or column. Okay, so you don't have to be a single cell, you can do a range, and it will copy the range. Make sure you save at this point. We're going to do a range. We're going to choose B38. We're going to enter in the formula equals E7 to retrieve the balance in the savings account at the beginning of the year. Alright, in cell B39, we're going to make it equal to B25 to retrieve the January total income. In cell B40, we're going to make it equal to B34. To retrieve the January total expenses. These relative references will change when you copy the formula to other months. In B41, type the equal sign, click B38, type plus, click B39, type minus, click B40. Okay, and then accept your formula. This formula calculates the ending balance for the savings account, which is equal to the starting balance plus any deposits minus the withdrawals and transfers. Alright, so you should have a display there of 1646 is your projecting savings account balance at the end of January. You're going to select the range B38 through B41, and you're going to Use the fill handle to put that range into C38 through C41. Alright, in cell C38, change the formula to B equals 41. It equals B41, and accept that. Now the February starting balance for the savings account is based on January's ending. Select the range C38 through C41 and drag to fill through D38, M41. Okay, so it autofills and auto-populates. In cell F7, go all the way back up to F7. We're going to put it equal to M41. And it will display the ending balance of the savings account in December, which is $14,179. Alright, save your changes to this point. Autofill can also be used to create a series of numbers, dates, or text based on a pattern. To create a series of numbers, you enter the initial values in the series in the selected range and then use autofill to complete the series. Autofill can extend a wide variety of series, including dates and times and patterns, or pattern text. It shows you some examples there on page 470 in Exhibit 14-21. It can recognize some patterns from only a single value, such as JAN or January, to create a series of month names or abbreviations, or MON or Monday to create a series of the days of the week. As you drag a fill handle over a range, a screen tip appears showing you how autofill will fill the series. For example, if the cell contains JAN, the common abbreviation for January, the next cell will be filled with FEB, the abbreviation for February. So we're going to go down to B37. We're going to enter JAN. Do not put the period. This is the first value in the series. Select B37 if necessary. On the Home tab in the font group, click the bold button. Alright. And then click the underline button. Now use the fill handle to drag it over to C37. Alright, it should be filled with February. Continue dragging it over the range D37 through M37. You can see in the screen tip where I'm at right now is August. Keep going. And there's December. Alright. Click anywhere to get off of that, make it inactive, and make sure you save your changes. Alright, working with a date function. A date function is a function that inserts or calculates dates and times. The most common is today. You'll have equal today and parens to give you today's date. The now function, which displays both the current date and the current time, equal now and open and close paren. So let's play with that and use the date function a little bit. Let's go to cell A3. I'm going to hit Control Home to go to the top. Alright, and then we want to go into A3. On the ribbon, click the Formulas tab. In the function library, click the Date Time button. Alright, the menu opens. In the date functions list, click Today. The Today function is entered into cell A3 and the function arguments dialog box appears. Click OK. And it should be filled with today's date. Make sure you save it. The next thing we're going to talk about is financial functions. A financial function is a function related to monetary calculations such as loans and payments. Excel provides a wide range of financial functions. There's a list and descriptions there of the common ones on page 473 in Exhibit 14-26. FV function calculates the future value of an investment. PMT calculates payments required. IPMT calculates the amount of a loan payment devoted to paying the loan interest. PPMT calculates the amount of a loan payment devoted to repaying the principal. PV calculates the present value of a loan. NPER calculates the number of periods required to repay a loan. And rate calculates the interest rate. Alright, one commonly used financial function is PMT, which calculates the payment schedule required to repay the loan. When it talks about the cost of a loan to the borrower is largely based on the principal, the time required to repay, and the interest. Principal is the amount of money being loaned. Alright. The length of time between each payment is the payment period or just period, and interest amount added to the principal by the lender, what they get in return for their investment, more or less. To calculate the cost associated with a loan, you need to follow, you need to have the annual interest rate, the number of payments or payment periods per year, length of the loan, and the principal amount to use the PMT function. Let's do it. We're over on page 474. We're in that activity there. So we're going to go to the car loan analysis worksheet. We're going to go to cell B3. Now on the Home tab in the number group, click the % style button. Now you can type the percentage as a whole number rather than a decimal. We're going to type 6 and press enter. 6% appears. In B4 we're going to enter 12 as the number of payments to be paid. In B5 we're going to go equals B3 divided by B4 to calculate the interest per period. This is the rate argument for the PMT function. The calculate value is 0.5% per month. That's not right. Alright. Did not pick up the percentage formatting from cell B3. Okay, it didn't pick up your percentage formatting. Make cell B5 the active cell. Alright, it didn't pick up the correct formatting. On the Home tab in the Numbers group, click the % style. The value is formatted as a percentage and appears as 1%. This is because the % format does not show decimals. Any calculations that reference this value will use the true value of 0.5%, so you don't need to change the format. However, it's confusing to someone looking at the worksheet, so you will change the format to show 1 decimal place. So you're going to hit the increase decimal button. Oh, go here. There we go. This is the correct, you will do the increase decimal button. This is the correct interest rate per period. In cell B6, enter 5. This is the length of the loan in years. In B7, enter the formula equals B4 times B6. To multiply the number of payments per year by the number of years, and this gets you a total of 60 payments. In B8, enter $20,000 for the loan amount. Okay, and we should format that value in currency. Okay. In cell B8, alright, was formatted as currency. Once you have set up the worksheet, you can add the PMT function. So in cell B10, we're going to go to Insert Function. Click the or select a category box arrow and choose Financial. Scroll down the alphabetical list until you come to PMT. Alright. Then click OK. The Function Arguments dialog box opens. It requires 3 arguments: the rate, the NPR, and NPER, and the PV. And you can add 2 optional arguments of FV and type. The insertion point is in the rate box. In the worksheet, click cell B5. Click the NPER box and click B7. The cell that contains the total number of monthly payments required to repay the loan. Click the PV box. Click cell B8. Contains the present value of the loan. In cell B10, the complete formula equals PMT open paren B5, B7, B8 appears. Okay, click OK. The value 386.66 appears in cell B10. The cell picked up the currency formatting from the PV value in cell B8. The number is in parentheses and colored red because that is how currency formats negative numbers. Double click cell B10. Instead of the calculated result, the function appears. Alright. Alright. Notice that each cell reference listed as an argument is a different color, and the cell referenced have colored borders and shading that correspond to the colors of the cells referenced in the function. Press the escape key. Make sure you save everything up to this point. Alright. So one key benefit of Excel is its ability to do a what-if analysis, which lets you examine how changing values entered directly in a worksheet, such as the interest rate, the length of the loan, or the amount borrowed, affect the calculated values. So in B6, we're going to change that to a 3. By reducing the number of years from 5 to 3, the amount of the monthly payment increases to $608.44. In cell B8, we're going to change it to $18,000. That will change it to $547.59. Okay. So that shows you how you can go in and as you change values, how it will change the value of the payment. Formatting cells and ranges. Workbooks often contain several cells that store the same type of data. For example, each worksheet might have a cell that contains the sheet title, or a range of financial data might have several cells containing summary totals. A good design practice is to apply the same format to worksheet cells that contain the same type of data. You can format the appearance of individual cells by modifying the alignment of text within the cell, indenting cell text, or adding borders of different styles and colors to individual cells or ranges. The buttons in the font and alignment groups on the Home tab provide access to most common formatting choices. Alright. And then you have number formatting, alignment, font, border, fill, and protection. If you go into your Format Cells dialog box, let's so here, if we click this little arrow here in your font group on the Home tab, you'll get your Format Cells dialog box, and you have your number, which is options for formatting the appearance of numbers, including dates and numbers treated as text, so just telephone numbers. Alignment options for how data is aligned within a cell. Your font options for selecting fonts, font sizes, font styles, colors, etc. Your border options for adding and removing cell borders. Your fill option for creating and applying background colors and patterns to your cells. And protection options for locking or hiding cells to prevent other users from modifying them. Alright, so if we go back to our budget worksheet, and we select the range B6 through C9, the cells are formatted with a general number format. Click here in the formatting group and change that to accounting. $sign appears along the left edge of the selected cells and 2 decimal places appear after each value. Notice that the values of 0 are displayed as a $sign followed by a hyphen. This is how a 0 value is displayed in accounting. In the number group, click the decrease decimal button twice. The numbers after the decimal point are removed. A standard accounting practice is to display a currency symbol in only the first and total entries within a column of values. Select the range B7 through C8 to remove the $sign from the cells in the middle range. B7 through C8. In the numbers group in the dialog, hit the dialog box launcher. Format Cells dialog box opens. Custom is selected. This is because you changed the standard formatting to accounting. In the category box, click accounting. Click the symbol arrow. And then click none and OK. Select the non-adjacent range B23 through M24. Wait a minute. Through M24. Okay. And then B27 through M33. Open the Format Cells dialog box. Go to Numbers, go to Accounting, Decimal Places, box down arrow. Hit it twice to make it 0. Click the symbol and click None. The selected ranges are formatted with the accounting number format with no symbol and 0 decimal places. Okay, the symbol shouldn't be there. Let's go back, and we don't want the symbol. Okay. Select the non-adjacent ranges B22 through M22. and B20, well, hang on. B22 through M22, B25 through M26, all right, B34 through M34, and B39 through M40. Apply the accounting number format with a dollar sign and 0 decimal places. So we want accounting, and 0 decimal places. And save it up to that point. Alright. Alright, let's see. Okay, I don't think that's correct. Let's see how this shows it being done. It shows top part, that's correct. Alright, on 35. Alright, we haven't done it yet. Alright, let's do these. We want in the, I don't think that 39 and 40 should have had that added, but we'll see in just a minute. Alright, B35 through M35. B38, M38. Alright. I've got to hit Control to select my adjacent range, or non-adjacent range. Alright, Control. We want row 38 essentially, and we want row 41. Okay. On the Home tab in the Numbers group, we want to use the accounting format. The accounting format is applied. In several of the selected cells, you will see dollar signs or pound signs appear. In the number group, decrease the decimal 2 places. And the decimal places are removed and the numbers fit in the column. Notice that the values in several of the cells are within parentheses. This denotes negatives. Select the okay. Here's where your mistake is coming in according to the exhibit 14-30 on page 479. Go back here to rows 39 and 40. V39 through M40. You're not supposed to have the dollar sign showing there. So go back to your Format Cells dialog box, go to Accounting, and turn that off. Okay. I think that's the only mistake that I see when I'm going through this. The rest of them look correct. Alright. Save it up to this point. Let's go ahead and complete this. We want to go to the non-adjacent range B12, B12, B16, E7, F7. Okay, So we want B12, B16, E7, F7. We're going to apply accounting format. And 0 decimal places. Select B13, 15, 17, and 19. We want to give it comma style. In the number group, we want to decrease the decimals. Click it twice to get rid of your decimal places. Alright. Alright, and it didn't have you add it to 14, but you needed to add the comma style there as well. And decrease your decimal place. It is skipping items in the steps. Okay, Control S. It should look like this now. The next little part talks about applying cell styles. Similar to styles you apply in Word, you can apply styles to change how a cell and its contents are formatted. For example, you can create a style to display titles in bold. You can then apply that style to any cell with a title in a workbook. Alright. As in Word, you can revise the style. The appearance of any cell formatted with that style is updated automatically. Excel has a variety of built-in styles to format worksheets, titles, columns, rows, and totals. Okay. In the budget worksheet, which where we are, select E5. On the Home tab in the Styles group, click the Cell Styles button. Okay, you get a gallery opens. Point to several styles to see a live preview of how that would look. We can't see it. Let's scroll this over so that you can see it when it pops down. Alright, so now we can see it. So if we scroll over, you can see how it changes it. Alright. In the themed style section, click the Accent 6 style. Gallery closes and the text in cell E5 is formatted as 11-point white text and the cell is filled with a green background. The text overflows into F5. You cannot see the text because it is now formatted as white and cell F5 is filled with white. Okay, we'll fix it shortly. We're going to select the non-adjacent cells A5, look over here, A5, um, 11, 21, and 37. We're going to apply accent 6 to those cells as well. Alright. Apply the accent 6 style to the selected cells. Alright, select the non-adjacent range B25. B25 through M25. and B41 through M41. Okay, so you got your two ranges selected. In the Styles group, click the Cell Styles button. In the Good, Bad, and Neutral section, click the Good Style. Each cell in the selected range is formatted with the selected style, green text on a light green background. Select the range B34 through M34. In the Styles group, select Bad. The expense values are formatted differently from the income values with red text on a light red background. Click any cell in the worksheet to deselect the range and compare your screen to Exhibit 14-32 on the top of page 481. Okay. So save up to this point. Alright. Aligning cell content. Text in a cell is horizontally left aligned by default, and numeric values, including dates, are right aligned. The default vertical alignment for cell contents is bottom. You might want to change these alignments to make cell content more readable or visually appealing. So here on page 481, it tells you about the alignment buttons, where top align aligns cell content with the cell's top edge, middle centers the cell content vertically within the cell, bottom aligns cell content with the bottom edge, and so forth. You can read through those. We are going to go to cell B3. And on the Home tab in the alignment group, we're going to click Align Left. Alright, the date is left aligned in the cell, and this makes the header information on the worksheet easier to read. We're going to select the range B21 through M21. And B37 through M37. Okay. In the alignment group, we're going to center them. Okay. We're going to select the non-adjacent range A9, A9, A25, A34, A35, and A41. In the alignment group, we're going to click the Align Right button. The selected labels are right aligned. Make sure you save your changes up to this point. Indenting cell content. Sometimes you want a cell's content indented a few spaces from the cell's left edge. This is particularly useful for entries that are considered subsections of a worksheet. Alright, so we're going to select the range A39 through A40. A39 through A40. On the Home tab in the Alignment group, click the Increase Indent button twice. Alright. Contents of the selected cells indent to the right 2 character spaces. In the alignment group, click the decrease indent button. Each label moves left 1 character space. Alright, save it. Alright, merging combines 2 or more cells into 1 cell. You can merge cells horizontally and vertically. When you merge cells, only the content from the upper left cell in the range is retained. Some of your options are merge and center, which merges the range into 1 cell and horizontally centers the content. Merge across merges each of the rows in the selected range across the columns in the range. Merge cells merges the range into a single cell but does not horizontally center the cell content. And then unmerge reverses a merge, returning the merged cells back to a range of individual cells. We're going to go back up here to E5 and F5. On the Home tab in the Alignment group, after we've selected them, we're going to use Merge and Center. Okay. The range is merged into 1 cell. The merged cell reference is E5, and the text is centered within the merged cell. The formatting from cell E5 is applied to the new merged cell. Click any other cell in the worksheet to deselect the merged cell. The merged cell is formatted with accent 6 cell style from cell E5. So it should have retained everything. So save it at this point. Adding cell borders. Sometimes you want to include lines along the edges of cells to improve readability of rows and columns. One way to do this is by adding a border to a cell or range. A border is a line you add along an edge of a cell. You can add borders to the left, top, right, or bottom of a cell, around an entire cell, or around the outside edges of a range. Okay, a standard accounting practice is to add a single top border and a double bottom. Let's try that again. A double bottom border to the total rows to clearly differentiate that financial data. Alright, borders are different from grid lines that surround the cells in each worksheet. Grid lines are the lines that divide the columns and rows on the worksheet and define the structure of the worksheet. When a worksheet is printed, the grid lines are not printed unless you specify that they should be. Borders are always printed. Alright, so we're going to go to the range B9, C9. On the Home tab in the Font group, we're going to click the Borders button right here. Alright, the gallery, open up your gallery. We're going to click the top and double bottom. Option. And the borders on the selected cells changed to black lines. Notice that the Borders button changed here to show top and double bottom. If we click off of it, you can now see your border. Select the non-adjacent range B25 through M25. And B34 through M34. I didn't hold my control, so I lost the other one. Let's go back and get it again. Alright. And then we need to also grab range B41 through M41. And we're going to add that top and double bottom border to it. Okay? Select range A1 through C1. A1 through C1. On the Home tab in the Font group, click the Borders button arrow. We're going to click More Borders. Your Format Cells dialog box opens. In the line section, in the style box, click the thick line. Okay. In the line section, click the color arrow and click the green accent 6 darker 50%. In the border section, click the bottom border. A thick dark green border appears in the preview. Click OK. If we click off of it, we have that bottom border. Save your changes. Another way to distinguish sections of a worksheet is by formatting the cell background. You can change the color of cells by adding background colors, also known as fill colors, because you are filling the cell with color. You already added fill colors when you use the styles to format the category labels in the total rows. If you don't like any of the styles with fill colors in the cell styles gallery, you can select any background color you like by clicking the fill color button in the font group on the home tab. Alright, we're going to go to E6 through E7. On the home tab, we're going to click the fill color right here. In the theme color section, click the gold accent 4, lighter 60%. Alright, I need my screen tip. 40, that should be 60. The background color of the cells is now light gold, hiding the grid lines. Compare your worksheet to Exhibit 14-38 on page 486 in your book. Make sure you save all of your changes. And you can close this worksheet, this workbook. This is what you will turn in for Chapter 14. If you have any questions about anything in this chapter, please let me know.